beginner class today. As always, before we get on the pole, we're going to do a warm-up. So we're going to do some stretches to make sure you don't pull any muscles, and also start engaging those muscles. If you've been sleeping or if you've been sitting for a while, you want to wake them up and start to challenge those muscles a little bit before you get on the pole, and it will actually make you stronger. So we'll get started with some stretches, and then we'll do some stretches on the pole, and then we'll get into our beginner routine.
I've got a small studio, so sorry my head has cut off. Start with your feet wider than shoulder width apart and bring those arms down to a T. Then we're going to come to a flat back and then stretch all the way down to the floor, letting your head hang here, feeling that stretch through the back of the legs. Then bend the knees and let's stand. Again, bend the knees, arms up. Take it down to a flat back with T arms. And then relax down to stretch. Bend the knees again, standing. And let's start pulsing those arms in a T. Palms down, pulsing down. Starting to warm up those arms, those triceps. Flip the hands so they're facing up, pulsing up. Flip the hands to the back wall, pulsing back. Engaging through those arms, through those biceps, and flip the hands to palms facing forward. Again, pulsing. Now take your legs out and let's stretch down again. This time, take your hands behind your back, interlace them, and drop them down to the floor. This is to open up the shoulders. And now let's stretch over to one side, getting that leg, that body close to the leg, and then look up towards the ceiling and reach that arm up towards the ceiling, same arm as leg, and switch to the other side. Stretching down towards that leg, and then turn to face the ceiling, reaching that same arm as leg up towards the ceiling. Taking it to the middle to stretch, again plie and stand. Now we're going to take 10 squats, warm up through those legs, keeping your weight on your heels so that you're engaging through the back of the legs, engaging the glutes, starting to warm up those muscles, lubricate those joints so you're ready to move. And now let's take the arms out to T, and that same stretch we did, we're going to reach over to one side, looking up towards the ceiling, up to T, and then over to the other side. Standing and cross, standing and cross. A couple more. Again, this is a good dynamic strength and stretch exercise. Now we're going to square the hips off to one side and stretch down over that leg. Keeping your hips back, making sure those toes are pointed towards the side of the room. And then let's take it down for a lunge, pulling that back leg back, lowering the glutes. And now let's bring the hands up and the body up to a standing lunge. Getting a little bit of strength work here. Engaging through those glutes, and take it down. And straighten both legs. And stand. Now turning to square off your hips to the other side of the room, and reach down. Stretching over that opposite leg. And reach that back leg back to a lunge position. Feel free to adjust so it feels good. Your knee should be right over your ankle in that front foot. Let's bring the hands up and the body up to a standing lunge. Taking that body back down and straighten both legs. Good, now we've got some good stretch through the back legs. We're going to do one more, feet together, arms up and dive down. One more stretch all the way through the back of the legs, and then step the feet back to go into a plank push-up position. keeping that booty low, core engaged, and let's slowly lower it down to the floor. Bring those palms out slightly in front of you and raise the back for a baby back bend, and then bringing the hands close to the chest and reaching up for a full back stretch. Bringing the body back down, let's come back up to push-up position. And bring the hips up for a downward facing dog. Lowering those heels, pressing through the hands, pressing through the fingertips, reaching your hip up. Let's take one leg straight and reach it all the way up for three-legged dog. And let's pulse 10 times. And take a bend in that knee to get that hip real open, and straighten and lower. Straightening the other leg, bringing it up all the way, and pulse, 10 pulses on this side. And bend the knee, opening that hip, reaching away from the body with the toes. Straighten the leg and bring it down. Now let's bring it down to the ground, laying on your back, bringing those feet straight up, and let's reach those fingertips up, getting a stretch through the straight legs. And now we're going to raise that booty and bring the legs up over the head. This is a nice stretch for your low back as well as for the back of the legs. If you can come all the way down to touch the floor above your head with your toes, that's good. And bringing those legs back up, let's take 10 crunches, reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling, keeping those legs straight. And let's lower one leg and then the other, engaging those abs with the scissor exercise, flexing those abs all the way through to the lower ab with that counterweight that you're getting from the leg that's lowering. 10 on each side. And lower both legs, stretching out tall. And bend those knees, bringing the heels as close as you can to the glutes, and then raise the glutes up. Pressing through the heels, lifting the hips. And let's take a few hip thrusts. Again, pushing through the back of the leg, pushing through the heel. And last one, hold it at the top. And we're going to bring our hands underneath our lower back, if that's something that feels good to you, just getting a little bit of a higher stretch there. Bringing the elbows underneath the body. And go ahead and lower. And now we're going to take a bridge position if this is something you're comfortable with. Bringing the hands on either side of the head, lift the hips, and then press through the hands to get to this wheel position. You can go ahead and come out of it whenever you feel comfortable. Lifting those feet up one more time. Let's bring them overhead and then reaching up towards the ceiling. Bringing your hands on the lower back for stability. Again, just engaging through the core. And go ahead and bend the knees and lower. Hug one knee into your chest, straightening the other, and then switch. And then bring one leg straight up overhead, reaching for the leg. If you need to reach for the hamstring, that's fine. You can also reach for the ankle. And then move your hand to the outside of the leg and pull it across your body, getting stretch through the outside of the leg. And then pulling it up towards the head and release. Switching other leg straight up, gently pulling with the hands Reaching that opposite arm across to the outside of the leg and pulling it across the body. And then bring the leg over to the side and bring it towards the face. And release. Now sitting up with the soles of the feet together, let's stretch out the neck to the right and then to the left. And then let's do slow head rolls, stretching through every angle. Really important to warm up the neck so we don't tweak it. Do 2 slow rolls to one side and then 2 slow rolls to the other side. Now let's stretch the arms up, reaching forward. Getting a deep stretch through that inner thigh. And sitting back up, placing one hand on one knee and the other hand on your head, stretching away from that knee, and then switch. Bring the legs out to a straddle position, straight legs, arms up, spine nice and tall. Arms in a T, reach over to one foot and reaching the chest up towards the ceiling. And then collapse over towards that leg, reaching the arms forward towards the edge of the leg. You can play around with flexing the feet, get a little bit different stretch. And body up, arms in T, reaching over to the opposite leg, opening that body towards the ceiling. And then turn the body towards the leg, reaching over. Flex those feet to get different stretch. And lift the body. Again, arms up, reaching forward. Trying to keep that lower back flat. And stretch forward to stretch out those inner thighs. Now if you want to get a deeper stretch, you can roll forward, getting those hips up on top, stretching into the split. You can lay forward. And then rolling through onto our stomach, opening up the knees, bringing the soles of the feet together, pushing the heels down and the toes up. And then bring those feet out and reaching the glutes back, opening up those hips. And then bring those knees underneath you for a quadruped position. And we're going to straighten one leg and pulse it up 10 times. This is a great exercise to activate the glutes and the back of the knee, down through the hamstrings. And switching legs, other leg straight, and kicking up 10 times. Bring those knees back underneath you. And keeping the knee bent, we're going to lift it up to the side. This really activates the upper glute and the side glute. 10 times on each side. Keeping that knee bent. And now we're going to reach the hands forward, keeping the hips over the knees, so you've still got that 90-degree angle, but reaching the hands forward and stretching through that upper chest. Getting a stretch through the shoulders, and then bring those hands back underneath you to sit up. Now let's get started stretching with the pole. Bring your inside arm to the opposite side of the pole, outside arm up high and straight, and lean your body away from the pole, keeping those feet close to the pole. And then switch to the other side, feet close, inside arm on the opposite side, outside arm up top, and leaning those hips away, keeping that chest open to the ceiling. Now bring your back to the pole so your glutes are touching, and bring the arms up and reach the chest away from the pole. Bring that back to be flat again. Bend one knee, and using that same arm, reach back to stretch the quad. And now we're going to reach that arm around the opposite side of the pole and do the same stretch, but this time it'll give you a little more of a stretch through the core of the body. And go ahead and switch legs, bending the other knee, using the same arm to reach back and pulling that ankle towards the glute to get a stretch through the quad. And then reaching that arm around the opposite side of the pole, bending that same knee and reaching for it. Gives you a little bit of a twist stretch. Now we're going to reach that arm, so you've got your forearm on the pole, turn the body away from the pole to get a stretch through that upper arm and through the back. Switching to the other side, pull on the forearm and slowly turn your body away from the pole to get the stretch. Now step about 3 feet away from the pole, reach those arms towards the pole to grip around and lower the chest. This will give you a stretch through the back of the legs as well as through the chest and the back. You can try to walk those feet back a little bit. You can also drop the arms to get a deeper stretch in the legs. Coming up, now we're going to practice a knee hold. So you're going to lift your leg so that the pole is right behind your knee. And then you're going to bend the knee and reach that same arm for the ankle, pulling it towards the glute so that you've got a nice tight grip around it with your knee, and you can try to lean away from the pole to get a real deep stretch. This might hurt your calf a little bit, but it's good to practice those knee grips. Switching legs, again putting the pole right behind the back of the knee, bending the knee, reaching that same arm back to pull the ankle toward the glute. And you can try reaching away with your body.
Okay, so there's 4 moves that we need to learn for this beginner routine. So I'm going to show you each one and then we'll break it down. So the first one is walking around, and it's a spin move. So you're going to take a step, lean away from the pole, and spin. That'll be the first one. The next move we're going to learn is a back spin. So what you're going to do here is you want to get that pole right in your elbow, reach up, your outside leg is going to come around, you're going to catch it, and slowly come down. So that'll be a fun twirl to learn. The next move we're going to learn is a fan kick. Again, we're going to use that armpit hold. You're going to grab the pole, lift one leg up, followed by the other, and there's your fan kick. And then the last move that we're going to do is a sit. You're going to hold yourself up in the pole, wrap your legs around it like you're sitting in a chair, cross your legs, and sit here. So let's break each one of those down. So the first one is the twirl. So when you're walking around the pole, keep your arm high, but your shoulder low. You're going to take a few steps, just get used to walking around it. And then when you step on your inside leg, your outside leg is going to come out. Your outside arm is going to come in. And you're going to use that momentum to come all the way around, step right where that other leg is, and then take that leg up. One more time. Walking around. When you get that inside leg, pull the outside arm out. Outside leg swings around. Let's see it to the left. Step the inside leg, outside arm comes out. Step right where that foot is. Again. Leg swings, and right where that leg is. So there's our first one. Our next one is a fan kick. This is one of my favorite moves. So to get strong for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to get that pole right in our armpit and bring that elbow towards your chest so that you've got lots of pressure there. And then you're going to wrap both hands around the pole, outside arm high, and let's just try lifting it from here. Yeah? side, getting that pole right in the armpit, and then grabbing with both hands and lift. All we're going to do from there is now we're going to lift one leg up and around, and the other leg is going to come up and follow. So we've got our grip here, leg comes up, other leg follows. And you've got to kind of hold yourself up there, so it's good practice for the moves that we're going to be doing in the air in later progressions. So on the left side, get that pole right in your armpit, grasp, leading with the inside leg. Okay. All right. Our next move is a back spin. So this is one of our first twirls that we've learned. So you're going to have the inside arm grabbing around with the thumb. Your outside arm is going to come up high. And again, you're going to have the thumb around the pole. And you're going to take the outside leg up and you're going to lean back. Let it pull you back. And right when the pole gets on the back of your knee, that's when you're going to lift that leg up and bend both knees. And you're going to use that momentum from the outside leg to spin you. So here we go. Leg out. Spin. Slowly. A lot of people call this the fireman spin. It's one of my favorites for beginners. Let's try it on the other side. Inside arm around, kind of wrapping that forearm. Outside arm comes up. Outside leg comes out, and you lean back. So remember, you're waiting until that inside leg catches the back. So when we do this again, you're falling backwards. And when that pole hits right on the inside or the back of your knee, that's when you lift up. So spinning. And you get used to loosening that grip to spin down. All right, and our last move is the sit. This is a great move for beginners to start getting used to the pole, deadening those nerve muscles for some really impressive moves. So you're going to stand close to the pole. You're going to have your fingers around, thumb touching middle finger. One hand's above the other. You want them about head height. I like to go up on my tippy toes, so I've got some height here. Put those hands right by the face. You're going to pull those elbows down and squeeze the legs up. Yeah? Very similar to the pancake. Let's try switching the hands, other hand on top, up on our tippy toes, and lift. Good. Now we're going to actually do the sit. So your legs are going to come around the pole, and you're going to cross them. And it's going to really hurt on those inner thighs, but you just got to start getting used to the pole and start practicing. So again, up on our tippy toes, hands right by our face, pulling down, bring the legs to cross, like you're sitting in a chair, and then lean towards that bottom leg. And ideally, you can take your hands off the pole. Let's try it on the other side. Switch the hands, other hand up, other knee on top, pulling down, pressing those shoulders down, sitting, and leaning towards that back leg. And then try to take the hands off if you're comfortable.
Start standing to the side of the pole with one hand high, and we're going to take 3 steps around the pole and then do our spin on that 3rd step. Keep spinning and bringing the back to the pole, popping your right leg and arching that back. So again, 1, 2 on the 3rd step, Taking that spin move, keep spinning until your back's to the pole, arch the back and pop the foot. Then we're going to come back to take a few more steps, 3 steps, move towards the pole, and you're going to flick one leg and then the other leg. So again, from arching the back, take 1, 2, 3 steps and then flipping the hips to one side and to the other, flicking that leg. And then we're going to switch the hands to a trigger grip. So you're going to have each finger, pointer finger pointed with the thumb around the pole. Left hand up, step with the right leg and kick with the left leg. Starting from our second walk around the pole, taking 3 steps and then flicking those 2 feet, switching the grip, taking a step and kick. And then we're going to bring our armpit in towards the pole and do our back spin, bringing that outside arm high. So again, we just did the kick. We're going to turn towards the pole, bring that armpit into the pole, reach inside arm head height, outside arm high, and leaning back to spin around. And then when we get to the bottom, you're going to reach back towards the ankles. So again, from walking around the pole, taking a few steps, and then a flick, flick, switch the grip, step, kick, turn towards the pole, leaning back, spinning down, and then reaching those arms back towards the ankle. Then we're going to take that same armpit grip, bringing those hands towards the face, lifting up the feet, and then placing them down to stand. Another opportunity for you to get a little more strength. And then once we stand, we are going to do our fan kick. So starting from the very top, taking 3 steps, and then our twirl spin, continue twirling to the back bend, 3 more steps, flick that left leg and then the right leg, switching the grip, step, kick, turning towards the pole, our back spin, down to the ground, releasing towards the heels, that armpit grip, lift the knees and then stand, getting that armpit grip again and doing the fan kick. Once we've completed the fan kick, we're going to body roll towards the pole, bringing the chest and then the hips, keeping that right leg popped. Let's review that again, starting from the ground, reaching back towards the heels, taking that armpit grip, lifting the knees and standing, getting that right armpit in the pole, doing your fan kick, and then body roll towards the pole with your right leg popped. And then we're going to do our sit, coming up to our tippy toes, hands by our face, and bringing one knee on top of the other to sit. And then if you can, straighten the bottom leg, followed by the top leg, and you can bring that outside arm up to help you get down. So let's go over that again from the fan kick. Reviewing, we just stood up, take the right armpit hold, fan kick with the right leg, body roll towards the pole, coming up on the tiptoes, lifting, pressing the shoulders down to a sit. If you can, take your hands off and then straighten the bottom leg and the top leg, and you can use that outside arm to grip, bend the knees. And reviewing from the sit, come up to the tippy toes, hands in front of the face, lift, come into your sit. If you can take your arms off, that's great. Come down, and then you're going to flick your right leg over to the left side, and then step to the left side of the pole, left arm up, and from there you can walk around and add to the choreo. So that's it. Let's review from the top. Taking our first set of walks, 1, 2, right leg 3, and then our spin move, keep spinning to back to the pole, arch, walk 1, 2, 3, flick the left leg, flick the right leg, switch the grip, step, kick, leaning back, twirling down to the ground, reaching back for the ankles, taking that left armpit grip, lifting the knees, standing, right armpit into the fan kick, body roll towards the pole, come up to the tippy toes, lift shoulders down into the sit, take the arms off if you can, Straighten both legs. Take that outside arm down to lower, flick, and you're done. As a last challenge, you can try this routine in heels. Once you put your heels on, take a few practice steps just walking around the pole. Maybe try a few arms, pivot, walk to the other side, just getting comfortable with those high heels. Try some flicks. Try that first spin move. Getting comfortable with the height in those heels. Trying the spin move to the other side. Try those leg flicks. Now I'm going to show you the routine with heels, and I've also added on a little bit of improv at the end so you can see some other more advanced tricks that I'll be going over in later lessons.
I'm one of the greatest, ain't no debating on me. I'm still levitating, I'm medically medicated. Ironic, I gave her love and they ended up hating on me. She told me she loved me and she could make me. Fighting hard for your love and I'm running in on my patience. Need someone to hug you and took it back to the basics. You see what you got me out here doing? Might throw me up, but can't nobody stop the move. Let's go. Left foot, right foot, levitating. Pop star, do what he moved. I had to lace my shoes for all the blessings I was chasing. If I ever slip, I'm running to a better situation. So catch up, go put some cheese on it, get out and get your bread up. They always leave me, but just run together. Way of the world, my shoulders, I get my head up. Now baby, stay